Bad Bunny chose not to retaliate at all. He chose instead to invite his adversaries in, to invite them into a celebration of love and community and connection that even had a wedding at its center. A real wedding. I don't know if you know the story, but this couple invited Bad Bunny to their wedding. And he says, I can't come, but can I invite you to the Super Bowl show and you get married there? They got married right there. Real couple. And then Bad Bunny, his songs are mainly in Spanish, but he made sure that the very last words he shared, words that were inspired by the faith, Christian faith that he was raised in, his devout Catholic family, was the only thing stronger than hate is love.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. These pastors were not only appreciative of the Bad Bunny halftime show.
And I saw elements of Puerto Rico culture there. As a Puerto Rican, I was born in Puerto Rico and raised here. But I got to see some culture of my ancestry, my heritage, that was being represented on that global stage. And there were themes and imageries that complemented the island of Puerto Rico if you've ever been. So you see these things in those images, and something happened. I felt a little bit of a little pride. Iraguas, the la marqueta, and people playing the dominoes, and all this stuff, just the caña, and the apagones, the lights, and the cuatro. And for a moment, man, I didn't even realize. I was like, what are they? You just go, what was this? I was reading the amount of posts of people blasting the particular artist, the Bad Bunny guy, right? And some Christians called him garbage. They called him trash. They called him dirt. They called him junk. They called him evil. And on and on and on. I don't know. And so I just shared a few words that I was expressing how I appreciated the culture that was being represented, the items and the elements of the culture that were being represented, and then, boop, post. It was a barrage of personal insults, questions of my faith, of my character, my integrity, my personhood as a father, as a husband. But let me say this, I'm completely unapologetic about what I said. I'm just, because this is what I believe with my heart, that we can disagree without dehumanizing people. And we can have convictions without having contempt. As believers, as Christians, that we can stand firm without being cruel.
But Pastor Jay at Scarlet Note applauded him.
To be for a, well, I might as well do it. And I know some of you are all excited. You know, you've heard about the horrible halftime show that's coming. Some of you are all excited because Turning Point USA has an alternative halftime show. Can you tell me the difference between the two shows? The alternative is supposed to be for America. But the people entertaining are foul-mouthed, lost, degenerate people. I've heard them sing. They are filthy. Their mouths are filthy. And that's the alternative? You're trying to tell me that we have an alternative? Folks, the world can't give me an alternative. I've already met Jesus. Don't try to offer me an alternative. I wish the President of the United States would clean up his language. I wish he would stop insulting people. A leader should not give himself to insulting people all the time and using foul language. And while I'm at it, I'm going to finish. Everybody in the White House cusses except two women that say they're born again, but they're all foul-mouthed.
As did Reverend Lauren Livingston.
The controversy over his performing the halftime show has ranged from ridiculous to outrageous. Yet he has been consistently gracious despite the obvious racism and ignorance. Last week, Bad Bunny won Album of the Year at the Grammys. He started his acceptance speech with these heartbreaking words. Before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say ice out. We're not savages. We're not animals. We're not aliens. We are humans. We are Americans. The fact that he needed to say that reveals so much about the state of America in 2026. I know it is tough not to hate in these days. Sometimes we get contaminado. Hate gets more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love, so please, we need to be different. In the end, the source of our bravery is just love. We love each other. Like we literally go around telling each other that we love each other, that we keep us safe, and that we will defend each other, everyone. Whatever their race or religion or citizen status, no matter how much the government throws at us, knowing they may kill more of us because we love our neighbors. And seeing the power of that love manifested in how fiercely we care for each other, seeing how much stronger it's making us individually and collectively, stronger even than the forces of hate and violence unleashed on us. I don't believe that love is almighty because the scriptures testify to it. I believe it because I see it every day in my neighborhood. And that truth manifested is what makes us brave.
Reverend Paul Rauschenbusch, a minister, interfaith leader, and president at Interfaith Alliance, put Bad Bunny into his sermon as well. Okay, so some of you who are probably watching this are saying, why are you showcasing this? Why are you showing different pastors from around the country praising the Bad Bunny halftime show? And my reason is this, that whether it is through these last 10 years or whether it is the last 30 years, 50 years, what have you, what I wanted to show was that there are some out there that practice what they preach, and they do follow the scripture. And on top of this, it is not wise for us, and I would assume that my audience identifies with the politics that I do and largely aligns with leftist values. I've seen too many people painting a broad brush saying, yeah, you know what the problem is? The problem is that all religion is bad. And my argument, rather counter to that, would be it's bad when it's in the wrong hands, and we are seeing people who use it as a tool to carry out white supremacy. When I look at these men talking about the Bad Bunny halftime show, what I view is a degree of hope, whether it is false hope, TBD. And I also view it as people who really do care to a certain degree about inclusivity and values and morality. Because prior to the Bad Bunny halftime show, then afterwards, I saw so many, on the religious right trying to play up their religion and how this was demonic and how it was full of hateful symbolism. And I even saw one person on the far right say that it didn't speak for the United States of America because he included all of the Americas. So I appreciate these men, and I hope that they will continue speaking out because we really need to have an opposition to the Doug Wilsons, to the Kenneth Copelands, to the Erica Kirks, to the Falwells, and many, many more. So please keep speaking out. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.